She walked right up to me, undressed in silence, and kissed me without asking. The planet had been terraformed barely 10 years ago, yet its wild beauty still took his breath away. Giant, jagged rocks jutted from the ground like broken teeth, and the twin suns cast long shadows over the dust-streaked surface. Alex loved this place. As a xenobiologist, he had traveled to dozens of planets, but Zeta-9 was different. It was fragile, new, and filled with life that humans were just beginning to understand. And that was the problem. Humanity had a tendency to rush to mine to take, but here, everything still felt alive, untouched, sacred. He crouched near a small cluster of alien plants, scanning the soil with his analyzer. Tiny, glowing seeds clung to the roots, pulsing softly. He marveled at their rhythm. It was almost like a heartbeat. Fascinating, he muttered to himself. Life really does find a way. He had been out here for hours, alone except for his comlink back to the colony, when he noticed a movement at the edge of his vision. A shadow, humanoid in shape, glided across the plain with impossible silence. Alex froze. He had expected wildlife, maybe a few stray drones, but this was something else. It stepped closer. At first, he thought it was a person in a suit, but then the figure shimmered and changed. The camouflage that had cloaked its shape fell away, as if the air itself had swallowed the false image. Before Alex stood a being that seemed naked. Its skin glowed faintly, like soft, warm light beneath the surface. It had limbs shaped vaguely like a human's, but more elegant, more flexible. Its head was elongated, with eyes too large to be ordinary but filled with intelligence and curiosity. Alex's heart pounded. He raised a hand slowly. "Hello." The alien did not respond. It did not move. It simply approached, each step calm, measured, confident. There was no weapon, no threat, only awareness. Alex noticed the faint hum in the air around it, a vibration that seemed to touch him in a strange, calming way. And then it happened. The alien stopped just a few feet from him. Without a word, it reached out and touched his shoulder. Alex flinched. The contact was light but electric, sending shivers down his spine. Then, before he could react, the alien leaned forward and pressed its lips to his forehead. Alex stumbled backward. He had no words, no idea what had just happened. It was not a kiss of passion, not even a cultural gesture he could recognize. It was a signal, an acknowledgement, a connection. The alien pulled back and tilted its head, studying him with those enormous eyes. Alex blinked, trying to make sense of it. "Are you intelligent?" he asked, his voice trembling. The being made a soft, harmonic sound that seemed almost musical. It shifted its glowing patterns, brightening in certain areas and dimming in others. Alex realized it was communicating, but not with words. It was thought, emotion, rhythm. It was alive in a way humans had rarely encountered. He took a cautious step forward. "I'm Alex Mercer. I'm a scientist. I mean you no harm." The alien tilted its head again, then extended one hand. Alex hesitated. He was trained for first contact situations, but this was not training. This was raw, unscripted reality. Slowly, he placed his hand in the alien's. The glow was warmer here, almost like it was breathing through its skin. And then it did something unexpected. It squeezed his hand gently, almost like a reassurance, and then stepped back, creating space between them. Alex noticed the patterns across its body shifting rapidly, bright pulses moving in sequences. He realized slowly that it was showing him emotions, curiosity, caution, friendliness. His mind raced. The colony would want to know. Scientists would study this, governments would try to control it. But Alex could feel the intelligence behind those glowing eyes. The being was not an animal, not a threat. It was a mind waiting to be understood. He crouched slightly, lowering himself to seem less threatening. "I want to understand," he said softly. "I don't want to hurt you." For a moment, the alien hovered in place, silent. Then, without warning, it darted forward and pressed a soft hand to Alex's chest. His heart jumped. A pulse of light ran from its hand into him. He felt his heartbeat sink, almost rhythmically with the alien's glow. It was a greeting, a connection, a way of saying, "I see you." "I recognize you." Alex exhaled, a mix of fear and wonder. "Okay," he said, "I see you too." The alien took a step back, then spun gracefully, moving over the plains with a fluid motion that made Alex's head swim. He followed cautiously, notebook in hand, marveling at how naturally the alien navigated the terrain. It stopped at a small ridge overlooking a valley filled with bioluminescent flora. The alien gestured toward it, glowing brighter, almost like it was proud to show him this secret world. Alex knelt, taking careful notes. Every pulse, every glow, every pattern of movement was something new. "You've adapted to this planet perfectly," he whispered. "Better than we ever could." The alien made a harmonic sound, almost a laugh, that resonated through Alex's chest. Then it turned to him and in another surprising move, touched his forehead lightly again, the same gesture as before. This time Alex understood. It was a sign of trust. He smiled, a genuine human smile. "I think we're going to be friends," he said. Suddenly his comlink crackled. "Alex, you read me." It was Dr. Lin, the colony's lead scientist. "We've lost contact with the outer sensors. Are you outside?" "Yes," Alex said. He looked at the alien. It did not flinch or move away. "I've found something. I don't think it's hostile." Lin's voice was cautious. "Stay there, keep your distance. We'll send a drone for observation. Do not, under any circumstances, make direct contact." Alex swallowed. He wanted to argue. The alien had already made contact, already reached out to him in a way humans might never fully understand. He gestured toward the valley, indicating the alien wanted him to follow. "Trust me," he muttered. "I need to understand." The alien responded with a wave of light and sound, almost like laughter again, before gliding down into the valley. Alex followed carefully, stepping over rocks and alien vegetation. The further he went, the more he realized how much life teemed here. Small creatures, almost invisible, flitted among the glowing plants. The air shimmered with energy. It was beautiful. It was terrifying. And it was alive in a way humans rarely experienced outside controlled environments. As he reached a clearing, the alien stopped and turned to him. Its glow pulsed rapidly, almost urgently. Alex realized it was giving him a warning. Somewhere beyond the valley, the ground trembled faintly. He looked toward the horizon and saw dust clouds moving, fast, deliberate. "They're coming," he said. The alien seemed to acknowledge him, tilting its head and emitting a sharp pulse of light. Alex ran back toward the ridge, heart hammering. The dust clouds grew larger, shapes emerging, massive mining machines intruding into the alien's world. He felt a surge of anger and determination. Humans had destroyed worlds before, but not here, not under his watch. The alien followed him, floating beside him, glowing in solidarity. Alex clenched his fists. He was alone, but not afraid. Not really. He had a mind, a plan, and now an unexpected ally. "We're not going to let them do this," he whispered. The alien responded with a bright pulse against his chest, almost like it was agreeing. Together, they turned to face the approaching machines. Alex knew one thing for certain: humanity would rise to the challenge as it always had. With intelligence, courage, and a willingness to understand, they could protect this fragile, glowing world. And perhaps, he realized, he was not just a human explorer anymore. He was a bridge between worlds. The alien stepped closer, its glow softening, almost reassuring. And in that silent moment, Alex felt the first true connection he had ever made with another species. Not domination, not fear, understanding. The machines rumbled closer, but Alex's resolve hardened. He would find a way to stop them. And for the first time, he felt a spark of hope that humanity, clever and relentless, could protect what was precious. Not just for themselves, but for the universe. And as the alien reached out again, its touch warm and calming, Alex smiled. Somehow, he knew this was the beginning of something extraordinary. something that would change not only Zeta-9 but humanity itself. For the first time in his life, Alex Mercer understood the true meaning of bravery. Not fighting blindly, not killing recklessly, but facing the unknown with heart, mind, and courage. And somewhere deep in the valley, the glowing alien seemed to say the same thing, in a language older than words. You are not alone. The twin suns dipped lower over the plains of Zeta-9, casting long shadows that danced across the glowing vegetation. Alex Mercer crouched behind a ridge, notebook in hand, trying to make sense of the alien's behavior. The being, who he had come to think of simply as Luma, hovered lightly above the ground, its glowing body shifting in patterns that Alex was slowly learning to read. Okay, he muttered to himself, scanning the valley below. They're huge machines, and they're fast. The mining drones were massive, each one taller than a human, moving with a mechanical rhythm that seemed almost unstoppable. Alex could see the glint of their cutting lasers reflecting off the rock, preparing to tear into the alien plants. His stomach knotted. This was no longer just a scientific observation. This was a battle for survival, for the alien world, and maybe for humanity's reputation too. Luma floated closer, its body pulsing softly. Alex extended a hand. The alien's glow brightened in response, and a wave of warmth and calm spread through him. It was not fear, he realized. It was cooperation. We need a plan, he said aloud, even though only the alien could hear him in a meaningful way. We can't fight them with brute force. We have to be smarter. Luma tilted its head, and the patterns across its body shifted rhythmically. Alex understood. It was offering to guide him through the valley. The alien's knowledge of the terrain could give humans an advantage, even against machines designed for destruction. They moved silently, Alex following Luma through a hidden path that wound between glowing plants and jagged rocks. Every step was deliberate. The alien paused, hovering near a thicket of tall, bioluminescent stalks. It gestured toward a series of vines that stretched across the ground, almost like natural tripwires. Alex realized they were strong, flexible, and capable of holding significant weight. Could we use these? He whispered. Luma responded with a bright pulse, and Alex nodded. He began testing the vines, tying them carefully to rocks, imagining a system that could slow the machines down. Hours passed as Alex and Luma worked. They mapped the valley, set up barriers, and even created reflective surfaces using alien crystals that could confuse the drone's sensors. Alex's heart raced with each new idea, each new connection with Luma. It was amazing, working with a mind so different from his own, yet so willing to cooperate. This is incredible, he said quietly. I never thought I'd understand or even communicate with an alien like this. Luma responded with a soft harmonic tone, almost like laughter. It darted back and forth between the glowing plants, demonstrating techniques Alex could use. He scribbled notes furiously, already thinking of how to report this to the colony. Not in a way that would exploit the alien world, but in a way that could protect it. As night fell, the valley glowed even brighter under the twin moons. The machines had not yet arrived, but Alex knew it was only a matter of time. He and Luma rested briefly near a cluster of crystal-like rocks. The alien hovered in a protective circle, its glow soft and soothing. Alex felt a strange sense of calm. For all its strangeness, Luma was trustworthy. Tomorrow, Alex whispered, we'll stop them, we'll protect your world. The alien responded with a pulse to his chest, syncing briefly with his heartbeat. Alex understood it perfectly. We are allies. The next morning, the rumble of the machines returned. Alex had barely slept, but the excitement and fear sharpened his mind. He scanned the horizon. 5 drones were already cutting through the plains, heading straight for the valley. Alex whispered instructions to Luma, pointing toward the traps they had set. The alien's glow shifted, bright and urgent, as if understanding every word. Alex took a deep breath. Okay, let's do this. The The first machine approached the valley. Alex ducked behind a rock, then gave the signal. The vines they had arranged snapped into place, catching the machine's wheels and slowing its advance. Sparks flew and the drone jerked violently, its sensors momentarily confused by the reflective crystals Alex had positioned. "Good," he shouted. "Keep it moving." Luma darted in front of the second machine, using its glowing body to create flashes of light that disrupted the drone's visual sensors. The machine swerved, nearly tipping over, while Alex adjusted the vines to entangle its legs. He grinned. Human cleverness combined with alien knowledge was working, but the machines adapted quickly. The third drone fired a pulse that disintegrated part of the alien plants they had been using as cover. Alex ducked just in time, his heart pounding. He realized that brute force would not be enough. They had to outsmart the entire system. He studied the drones' patterns and noticed a weakness. They moved predictably, responding primarily to movement and light. Alex had an idea. He grabbed a shard of reflective crystal and angled it toward one of the machines. The sunlight, bouncing off the crystal, created a dazzling flare that blinded the drone's sensors. It crashed into a rock and toppled over with a loud, metallic crash. Luma pulsed brightly, circling him in excitement. Alex laughed, adrenaline surging. "We're good at this," he said. "Humans were good at figuring things out." They worked through the morning, combining Luma's agility and knowledge with Alex's problem-solving skills. By midday, 3 of the 5 drones had been neutralized, unable to navigate the traps and optical illusions Alex had created. The remaining 2 machines approached cautiously, scanning for threats. Alex and Luma moved to higher ground, preparing a final strategy. He remembered a canyon nearby, deep and narrow. If they could lure the machines there, gravity and terrain could do the rest. "Follow me," he said to Luma. The alien responded with a bright pulse, floating ahead like a guide. Alex ran, dodging rocks and glowing vines, leading the drones toward the canyon. Luma darted between the machines, drawing their attention, while Alex positioned reflective crystals and vines along the canyon's edge. The first machine entered the canyon, sensors blinded by the mirrors and lights. Its wheels caught in the vines and it tipped sideways, sliding down the slope. The second followed, but Luma's flashing glow distracted its sensors, and it too fell into the canyon. Dust rose and the machines were finally immobilized. Alex collapsed, breathing heavily. Luma hovered above him, pulsing slowly, rhythmically, almost like a heartbeat. Alex laughed with relief. "We did it," he said. "We actually did it." But as he looked around, he realized the fight was not just physical. It was about understanding, cooperation, and respect. The mining machines were powerful, but humans had brains. They had heart. And with an ally like Luma, they could do more than survive. They could protect. He knelt beside one of the fallen drones, examining the controls. "We can't let anyone else get this far," he muttered. "Not until the colony understands what's at stake." Luma touched his shoulder gently. Alex felt the warmth spread through him, a silent affirmation. They had formed a bond, not just of survival but of trust. The alien had accepted him as an ally, and he had accepted it as a partner in protecting its world. By the time the suns began to rise again, painting the sky in orange and violet, Alex had already begun planning. He would report everything to the colony, but not to claim glory. He would report it to ensure Zeta-9 remained untouched. He would show them the alien, the life, and the intelligence that could not be destroyed. Luma hovered beside him, calm and radiant. Alex felt a deep sense of awe. Humanity often thought of itself as dominant, as clever, as the top of the food chain. But here, on this fragile world with a creature so different from him, he understood something vital. True strength comes from understanding, cooperation, and courage. He smiled, reaching out to touch Luma again. The alien pulsed brightly, and in that silent gesture, Alex felt the weight of the future settle in his chest. They had won this battle, but the war for understanding had only begun. Together, they would face the challenges ahead. Together, they would prove that humans, when guided by intelligence, empathy, and courage, could rise to meet even the most alien of challenges. And as the twin suns rose fully, casting light across the valley, Alex Mercer knew one thing with absolute certainty. Humanity was not just surviving among the stars, they were ready to shine. The morning on Zeta 9 was calm, but Alex Mercer knew better. The air vibrated faintly with anticipation, the twin suns casting long orange and purple shadows across the plains. He stood on a ridge overlooking the valley, notebook and crystals in hand, scanning for signs of the remaining mining forces. Beside him, Luma hovered gracefully, its glow bright and steady. Alex smiled. The alien had been quiet since the last battle, conserving energy, but its presence alone reassured him. They had survived the first encounter with the drones, but now came the real challenge, the corporate mining team itself. Alex adjusted the straps on his backpack and turned to the alien. "Ready?" he asked. Luma pulsed brightly, its glowing body shifting rhythmically. Alex understood. Yes, it was ready. Together, they would face the humans who had come to destroy this world. Below, the mining corporation had established a temporary base, a cluster of gray modular buildings and heavy machinery. Guards patrolled the perimeter, unaware that their drones had already been neutralized by Alex's clever traps. He crouched low behind a rock, planning. "This is it," he murmured. "We can't fight them head-on. Too many of them, too much firepower, but we can outsmart them." Luma hovered closer, touching his shoulder with a soft pulse. Alex felt warmth spread through him. Somehow, the alien's presence gave him courage. He was not alone. He started moving down the ridge slowly, keeping to the shadows. He needed to reach the perimeter undetected and create diversions, using what he had learned from the drones. Their sensors relied heavily on light, movement, and noise. With Luma's help, they could manipulate all three. The first challenge was the watchtower. A single human guard scanned the valley through binoculars. Alex whispered instructions to Luma. The alien glowed, shifting light patterns, creating a visual illusion across the valley. The guard squinted, confused. The glow flickered like a phantom image, drawing his attention away. Alex crept closer, tossing a reflective crystal into the tall grass. Sunlight bounced off it, blinding the guard temporarily. In a heartbeat, Luma darted behind the tower, its glowing body emitting a low harmonic hum. The guard froze, mesmerized by the pulsing lights, and Alex slipped past, silently moving toward the main compound. Once near the machinery, Alex paused. The corporate team had weapons, plasma rifles, scanners, and heavy armor. He could not fight them directly, but he could use their own technology against them. He scanned the area and noticed the power nodes for the base were exposed, unprotected. "We can cut their power," he muttered. "That will give us an advantage." Luma hovered near the nodes, its glow brightening. Alex connected a few wires from the reflective crystals and some alien vines, creating a crude but effective pulse disruptor. When activated, it would send an electromagnetic pulse that temporarily shut down all nearby electronics. He activated it carefully. The lights in the base flickered, alarms went off, and guards scrambled. Alex smiled. Perfect. The corporate team ran toward the commotion, unaware that Luma had created multiple light illusions, making it seem like more humans were approaching from different directions. Alex took advantage of the chaos. He climbed to a small hill and began using mirrors and crystal shards to reflect sunlight into the windows, dazzling the guards and slowing their advance. Luma darted between the guards, its glow creating flashes that disrupted their targeting systems. Every move was coordinated, almost like a dance. Alex realized that human ingenuity combined with alien instinct was creating a strategy no one could predict. The leader of the mining team, a tall man named Commander Vance, yelled orders, trying to regain control. But Alex had anticipated this. Using vines and rocks, he created simple but effective traps that tripped guards, tangled equipment, and forced the humans to retreat. One guard tried to cut a vine, but as he did, another vine snapped, hitting the ground with a loud thud that startled him. Alex grinned. They rely on brute force. We rely on brains. By mid-afternoon, the mining team had been corralled into a narrow canyon, the same one Alex had used against the drones. He had guided them there carefully, using the valley's natural terrain to his advantage. "Ready?" he whispered to Luma. The alien's body glowed bright in response, almost like a heartbeat. Together, they would finish this. Alex activated a series of crystal mirrors he had placed along the canyon walls. Sunlight reflected into the canyon, blinding the miners' sensors. Luma created flashes of light from above, guiding the humans in the right direction, but also forcing them deeper into the canyon. The machines in the canyon, drones they had brought with them, were immobilized from the previous battle. The humans had nowhere to run. Commander Vance stopped, realizing they were trapped. "Fall back, regroup," he shouted, but it was too late. Alex stepped forward from his hidden position, holding his hands out in a peaceful gesture. Luma hovered behind him, glowing brightly, its presence commanding and calm. "You don't have to fight," Alex called. "We can solve this without violence. You're destroying a world that is alive, intelligent, and worth protecting. Step away and no one gets hurt." Vance hesitated, looking at the alien. His expression changed from anger to fear to confusion. He had never seen anything like Luma before. Its glowing body, the way it moved, the intelligence in its eyes, it was undeniable. This was not a mindless creature. This was life that demanded respect. Alex spoke slowly, clearly. "You think you are powerful, but power without understanding is meaningless. Humans have something you don't: brains, creativity, and the ability to choose. Choose to protect life, not destroy it. That is what makes us strong." For a moment the canyon was silent. The hum of the alien and the shimmering light filled the space. Finally, Vance lowered his weapon. You're right," he said reluctantly. "We'll pull back, this isn't worth it." Alex exhaled, relief flooding him. "Good choice," he said. "Remember what you've seen today. Intelligence and cooperation matter more than force." The miners retreated, leaving their equipment behind. Alex and Luma watched carefully as the humans disappeared over the horizon, ensuring no ambush. Once the coast was clear, Alex turned to Luma. The alien's glow pulsed softly like a smile. "You did it," Alex whispered. "We did it, together." Luma hovered close, pressing a hand to Alex's chest in a gesture of mutual respect. He felt warmth and a strange sense of joy. They had accomplished something incredible, not just stopping destruction, but showing that humans could rise to challenges with brains, heart, and courage. The sun began to set over the valley, painting the sky with brilliant orange and violet streaks. Alex stood on the ridge, looking out over the glowing flora below. It had survived, intact and thriving. And somewhere among the trees, tiny creatures scurried, oblivious to the human drama but thriving because someone had cared enough to protect them. Alex turned to Luma. "We should show the colony this world, carefully. They need to understand it, not exploit it." The alien pulsed bright, a sign of agreement. Alex nodded. Humanity had the chance to do better here, to learn, to grow, and to protect. That night, as the twin moons rose and the valley glowed in soft blue and green hues, Alex wrote in his notebook. He documented everything: Luma, the flora, the intelligence of the world, the dangers, and their strategy. It would be a report that changed everything. Luma hovered beside him, its glow gentle, almost comforting. Alex placed a hand on the alien's arm. "We're allies now," he said softly. "Not just for today, for the future." The alien responded with a pulse to his chest, syncing momentarily with his heartbeat. Alex smiled. He felt a bond that went beyond words, a connection that showed the best of humanity: courage, intelligence, empathy, and the ability to understand life that was not our own. Weeks later, the colony received Alex's report. Scientists marveled at the detailed documentation, and the administrators realized the potential consequences of exploiting Zeta-9. The planet was declared a protected site, off-limits to mining and uncontrolled expansion. Humanity had listened. Humanity had chosen understanding over destruction. Alex often returned to the valley, walking among the glowing plants with Luma beside him. Together, they explored, discovered, and learned. And every time Luma pressed its hand to Alex's chest or forehead, he felt the same sense of trust and connection that had started it all. The first kiss of understanding, the spark that had begun a friendship between species. And Alex Mercer knew this. Humans could survive, thrive, and shine, not by force, not by domination, but by cleverness, courage, and heart. That was what made them truly extraordinary. The twin suns rose again, painting the valley in light and hope. And Alex Mercer, standing with his alien friend, understood something vital. Humanity was ready for the stars, not just to conquer, but to protect, to learn, and to rise to the challenges of the universe with intelligence and heart. Somewhere deep in the valley, Luma pulsed brightly, a living signal of life, trust, and cooperation. And in that glow, Alex knew that the bond they had formed would last, not for days or years, but for generations. Because humans were not just survivors. They were clever, brave, and capable of greatness, and now they had proven it.